An update to our breaking news now coming out of Osceola County. 2 Kissimmee police officers were shot and killed. This happened in the area of Palmway Street and West Cypress Street. Sources tell News 13 there is an active search for at least one person happening now. That is why we are seeing such a heavy police presence in that area. We're still waiting on law enforcement to give an update on the situation right now at a media staging area around Main Street. And that is where News 13's Aaron Murray joins us now live with the very latest information. So, Aaron, what have you learned out there tonight?
Absolutely, Sharon. What you said is completely correct. It is very much a waiting right now. We keep checking in with city officials about every 5 minutes. They are right here with us, and then others over at Osceola Regional where those 2 officers were taken after being shot. And as you said, unfortunately, we've learned from sources that both of them have died. Now, just to recap on what we've been told tonight, both of those officers responded to a shots fired call, as you said, on Palmway and West Cypress. Now, that is about a half a block to a block away from here. We're in the Staples parking lot. Again, it's just past the 7-Eleven over my shoulder there. A huge police presence in that area. That's where we first showed up tonight, but then they did ask us to come here to the Staples where we're at. You can see more police officers. They're basically blocking off almost every intersection in this area from about a mile around Palmway and Cypress. Now, where we're standing, there are not a lot of people congregating, but we did find one woman. She's from Kissimmee, and we spoke to her, and she was, like many people here, extremely upset when she heard this news.
News 13's Sharon Stone is live at Lux Lounge off of I-Drive. And Sharon, you spoke with people who are now coping with the loss of Taryn McCarty.
Yeah, Marla, we spoke with a woman who says she actually had to tell his mother that he had died. Now, we also spoke with someone who says she was the promoter behind the party where he died. They're all just trying to move forward and cope with their loss.
Families were evacuated after an early morning fire at a motel in Altamont Springs. It happened on Douglas Avenue near I-4 and State Road 436. Spectrum's News 13's Sharon Stone is live outside of the Remington Inn and Suites, and I know that investigation into the fire continues. You were just able to talk to a woman there who was impacted. What did she say?
Yeah, she wanted to make sure that this area is characterized correctly. She wanted to let me know there are a lot of hard-working families here that are here to support each other through things like what happened behind me. The fire's out now, but you can see the damage left behind, and we've seen crews walking around this afternoon. Now, that actually is a vacant building. It was empty because of damage from Hurricane Irma. No one has been living in it since then, but you know, flames were shooting up high in the sky early this morning around 3:30. Residents here said a neighboring building had to be evacuated, the woman you mentioned included. That was temporary as a precaution. And we spoke to one woman who grabbed what she could and got out of her room.
It was coming from the roof, and it's like it kept jumping from apartment to apartment. They'd get it out in this section, and then it would flare up here, and this went on for hours.
Now, one firefighter was treated for heat exhaustion. The state fire marshal is investigating the cause. Now, if you take a look at what's happening now, there are crews still on scene. You can see the damage above. People who lived in this building before Irma hit were already staying in motel rooms at Remington Inn. So those planning to move back into that building after repairs, they may have to change their plans because of this fire. Basically, they're waiting to find out if that building can end up being a safe place for them to stay down the road. Reporting live from Altamont Springs, Sharon Stone, Spectrum News 13.
A Lake County Boy Scout den leader is in jail tonight after getting arrested on 38 counts of child pornography. He's 67-year-old Michael Hannon. Spectrum News 13's Aaron Murray is live at the Lake County Jail for us now. Aaron, what can you tell us about the investigation?
Yes, well, this affidavit says the investigation began back in November when a cyber tip flagged a single image online that was traced back to Michael Hannon's home address. Well, that's when the Florida Department of Law Enforcement got involved, and they got a search warrant. Well, when they went in there today, they tell me they found 38 images of child pornography on his laptop.
In a small apartment complex where Michael Hannon lives in Umatilla, people are angry.
Yeah, they're all upset about it around here.
This whole community is upset, yes.
Teresa Colgate is a mother of 3 and said she wasn't surprised when law enforcement showed up outside Hannon's apartment Tuesday morning.
And I knew, like, I called it. I don't care, you can ask anybody out here, I called it. I called it. He would come out, it was a little white dog, you know, scruffy looking, and he'd go sit right there on the bench.
She and others in this complex said they thought Hannon's behavior was always strange, especially around children.
I ran him off, and I ran him back in his house, and he would never make eye contact with any adult here. Anytime an adult tried to walk to the park while he was here, he would immediately come back into his apartment.
No, I just couldn't figure him out and to see him and everything, and I understood he was big in the Boy Scouts.
An affidavit says Hannon told FDLE investigators he's been a leader in the Boy Scouts for years, which is why
it's important to us that we communicate with the parents. We really want to know who did this man have, what children did this man have interaction with, and it's important that we want to solicit that help from parents.
Tuesday afternoon, the Central Florida Boy Scouts CEO released this statement saying, quote, "Upon learning of these reports, we took immediate action to remove this individual and prohibit him from any future participation in our programs." 38 images in total were reportedly found on Hannon's laptop.
They're different children. You know, every single image is a crime in and of itself. No matter how you look at it, none of this is good, except for the fact that we took a pervert off the streets of Central Florida.
Everyone here is happy he's now behind bars.
He's in a good place.
Now, that place that he's talking about is the Lake County Jail. That is where Hannon is currently, and it's where he'll stay for now because he was denied bond. Reporting live in Lake County, I'm Aaron Murray, Spectrum News 13.
Well, our team coverage continues tonight as temperatures have already dropped below freezing across several of our northern counties. With cold weather shelters open, some churches in Lake County are answering the call for help from Lake County Emergency Management to protect people in need from that freezing temperatures we're going to be seeing. Now, Spectrum News 13, Sharon Stone is live for us in Claremont, where the pastor of a church is running a cold weather shelter for the first time.
Yeah, exactly right. The Lake County Office of Emergency Management reached out to the church for help, and the pastor said yes and learned how to do it tonight because he knows exactly what it's like to live outside on cold nights like these. Volunteers at the Cathedral of Power International Church are working quickly to unload supplies from Lake County's Office of Emergency Management after Pastor Chris Walker agreed to open the doors last minute on Wednesday.
Even though I knew we didn't have a lot of staff, but because I understand or been down that road before of being homeless, I just immediately said yes.
Cots were delivered. Food and water will be provided to whoever shows up looking for shelter.
It lets them know they have a place to go, they have a safe place to go, a warm place to go, and a caring place to go. And so there's a lot of homeless population in Lake County. A lot of people don't know there's over 2,500 families sleeping in the woods right here in South Lake County. And so it's a big problem.
The Claremont Church will operate as a cold weather shelter overnight until 7 a.m. They're prepared to open their doors if they're called to help again.
If nothing else, it's just a place for them to go for the night, you know. They need the help. So we decided to say yes.
And Lake County Emergency Management asked agencies that may work with the homeless population to spread the word about where these cold weather shelters will be opening. It's really a community effort to provide warm places for those in need on cold nights like this. Reporting live in Claremont, Sharon Stone, Spectrum News 13.
Well, hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans fleeing the devastation from Hurricanes Irma and Maria are expected to relocate to Central Florida. That's creating issues with housing, jobs, and education, as you can imagine. Spectrum News 13, Sharon Stone is live for us at the University of Central Florida tonight, where students are trying to help out in this crisis. What are they doing?
Yeah, Tammy, this forum was organized by the Puerto Rican Student Association here. And these are students who have families still living in Puerto Rico, and they are the ones supporting those moving here from the hurricane-ravaged island. And basically, they want to make sure this is an issue that doesn't disappear from people's minds because they are seeing and dealing with the long-term effects.
which puts the dorm in the line.
At this forum on campus, the focus is on the impact of Hurricane Maria. Student and panelist Augusto Ortiz Rivera recently left the island to enroll at UCF.
The situation in Puerto Rico is really hard. I know that there are many people trying to transfer from Puerto Rico.
As of Wednesday, the university has received 945 applications from Puerto Rico. Just over 200 were admitted so far. Hundreds more are still pending.
We can make them feel safety, feel like at home, away from the island. So I think that's pretty much our goal.
Students, faculty, and representatives from the city of Orlando discussed resources available to those escaping Hurricane Maria and heading to Central Florida.
We as people that are living here with the community in Orlando could help them by helping them find those opportunities and making them available for them.
UCF is waiving some fees for those impacted students for the spring semester, and they'll offer classes to strengthen English skills for free.
UCF is basically doing the best they can to help them. So I hope that we can establish a new line of help towards Puerto Rico with this forum.
Well, students who participated in this forum want to keep the pressure on the university and the state, even the federal resources available to make sure this is an issue that doesn't go away. And panelists here reminded the students that, they're not just part of UCF, they're part of the greater Orlando community as well. Reporting live at UCF, Sharon Stone, Spectrum News 13.